RUMPELSTILTSKIN by the Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time, there was a miller who was very poor, but he had a beautiful daughter. One day it happened that he had a chance to speak to the king, and in order to seem important to him, he said, "I have a daughter who can spin gold out of straw." "Now, that is a talent which interests me," answered the king. "If your daughter is as clever as you say, bring her to my castle tomorrow, and I'll put her to the test." When the young girl arrived, he took her to a room full of straw, gave her a reel and a spinning wheel, and said, "Now you will start working, and if between now and tomorrow morning you have not spun this straw into gold, you will die." Thereupon he locked the door securely, and she was left all alone. There sat the poor miller's daughter, not knowing what to do. She had no idea how to spin straw into gold, and she became frightened that she started to cry. Suddenly the door opened, and a little man entered, who said to her, "Good evening, beautiful miller's daughter. Why are you crying?" "Alas!" answered the young girl, "I have to spin all this straw into gold, and I don't know how." "What will you give me if I spin it for you?" asked the little man. "My necklace," answered the girl. The little man took the necklace, sat down behind the spinning wheel, and started to spin, spin, spin. He only spun 3 times, and the reel was full. He replaced it by another one and started to spin, spin, spin. He only spun 3 times, and the second one was full too. He did this all night until dawn broke. So all the straw was spun, and all the reels were full of gold. As soon as the sun rose, the king arrived. When he saw all the gold, he was extremely pleased, but he was a greedy man and wanted more. He took the miller's daughter to another room full of straw, which was even larger than the one before, and ordered her to spin all the straw into gold in one night if she wanted to stay alive. When she was left alone, the young girl started to cry. Then the door opened once again, the little man appeared and said, "What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold?" "The ring that I wear on my finger," answered the young girl. The little man took the ring, sat himself down behind the spinning wheel, and by the next morning he had spun all the straw into sparkling gold. The king was delighted at the sight of all this gold, but he still wasn't satisfied. He took the miller's daughter to another room full of straw, even larger than the first two, and commanded, "You will spin all this straw for me tonight, and if you succeed, you will become my wife." Although she is only a miller's daughter, he thought, I couldn't find a richer wife. When the young girl was alone, the little man arrived again and said, "What will you give me this time if I spin this straw into gold?" "I don't have anything more to give," answered the young girl. "Well, promise me your first child if you become queen," said the little man. "That's never likely to happen," thought the miller's daughter. Still, she promised the little man his wish, and again he spun all the straw into gold. When the king arrived the next morning, and saw the gold, he prepared the wedding, and the pretty miller's daughter became queen, much to her surprise. 1 year later, when she had forgotten all about the little man, she gave birth to a beautiful child. Then one day he suddenly walked into her room and said, "Well, give me what you have promised." The queen was terrified and offered the little man all the treasures of the kingdom not to take her child. But the little man answered, "No, I don't need of treasure. You must keep your promise." Then the queen started to moan and weep. The little man felt sorry for her, and he said, "I will give you 3 days. If within that time you discovered my name, I will let you keep your child." Throughout the whole night, the queen thought about all the names she had ever heard, and she sent a messenger through the country to find out every name that existed. When the little man arrived the next day, she started with Caspar, Melchior, Balthasar, and said one name after another until she knew no more. Every time the little man said, "That is not my name," the next day she had inquiries made throughout the entire neighborhood for the name of every single person, and she repeated the strangest and the rarest names to the little man. "Isn't your name Cowribs, or Leg of Mutton, or Spider Legs?" she said. But still he answered, "That is not my name." The third day, the messenger came back and said he was not able to find any new names. "However," he said, "when I arrived at the huge mountain, at the corner of the forest where the foxes and the hares say good night to each other, I saw a fire burning in front of a little house. A very strange little man was dancing around this fire. He was hopping on one leg and singing, 'Today I bake, tomorrow I brew beer. The day after tomorrow I will bring the queen's child here. How lucky I am that nobody knows that Rumpelstiltskin is my name.'" You can imagine how delighted the queen was when she heard that. Soon afterwards, the little man entered and asked her, "What is my name?" She answered, "Is your name Harry?" "No." "Is your name Bert?" "No." Then the queen laughed and said, "Is your name by any chance Rumpelstiltskin?" "It must be the devil who told you that! It must be the devil who told you that!" And in his rage he stamped his right foot so violently on the floor that he disappeared through the ground and was never seen again. The end. Until next time. Bye.